someone completes treatment. You know, they say if you go there and you do 9 months, you got like 80% chance of staying clean, you know, for more than 5 years or something like that. And there's stats everywhere on everything, but I know for me it worked. So to give somebody that next step, so I was like, well, you know, maybe SWMBA, Southwest Michigan Behavioral Health, will do the same thing where if you own a home, they will help you fix it up. And I came across this site because I was like, you know, Benton Harbor, I know they got grants and all kinds of stuff because they're trying to fix a city. I mean, I've heard businesses like they will pay you to come here, like they will build a building for you. And I don't know if all that's true, but my hometown of Coloma, there was some stuff maybe getting floated around, and I thought, well, hell, that'd be a good little spot, man. I mean, you got farmers, you got kind of a little bit of everything, and it's secluded enough, you know, where I think it would be a lot safer for people. It's not like inner city or anything like that. You know, it's a slower kind of way of life. And I just thought, man, that would be good. So I reached out to a lady, and she was like, yeah, I'm not sure if, you know, some communities might not want that. I'm like, oh, no. I was like, it's there. I was like, you already have their drug problem. I was like, what I'm talking about is a house for people who want to not have their problem anymore and want to learn a better way of living. You know, I had to kind of break it down to her, and it didn't make me sad, but it was just like, I wish I had a tape recorder. I could just hit play and just like, okay, like, here's the facts on people in recovery. We spend more money. We do more for the community. You know, like all the good things that we do, you know, we are learning to live a better life. And you don't want us in your community because what? Like, right. No, like, lady, I was like, the drugs are there, you know, and I had to keep telling her, like, no, like, I know the drugs are there. I can tell you 3 houses, you know, and she's like, well, no, I mean, you know, and it's hard for people to understand. I'm like, it doesn't need to be, you know, that's the thing. And so hopefully she takes my message, and we talked for a while, and finally I was just like, look, we can talk about this all day. Like, I got to go get on my homework, and I got to take a nap, and George is coming over. I got to make him a shirt. You know, I had things to do, but yeah, so she's going to, you know, float that around, and it's very interesting because she said that, you know, there are some grants, and it's like, yeah, you know, I was like, I explained to her a couple of houses that used to be kind of bad, and I was like, well, for example, that house on that corner, remember that? Before they fixed it up, that was eyesore, you know, like, oh, find something like that, you know, get us a grant to buy that, you know, have some help fixing it up. Let's put up a sober living house. And she's like, well, yeah, now they can say it like that. I'm like, yeah, well, now I say it like that, give me 5 of them.
Right.
But, you know, because we do want to move into that realm as well. And when I tell people about 217 recovery, and they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, well, we help people in early recovery. Well, how do you do that? Well, we have a podcast where we tell stories. We talk to people. We are out in the community telling people, like, hey, I'm in recovery. You know, like, you don't have to hide from that. You can be proud of it. And we have blogs, and, you know, we do transportation. We want to clothe people, obviously. Mm-hmm. We got a clothing line going.
Some sweet gear, too.
Mm-hmm. But we also want to, you know, give back to the treatment centers that can't afford all the things. And with winter coming, too, I reached out to Fruit of the Loom. Is it Fruit of the Loom or Fruit of...
Fruit of the Loom.
Fruit of the Loom. Yeah, I reached out to them today, too, and sent them a little thing going, hey, you know, give us some stuff. Meyer, I think, is going to be a big player for us. So we'll see, but we got big things coming, you know. But it blows people's mind. They're like, you're all over the place with this. And I'm like, I know, that's how my brain works. And they're like, but you need a business plan for each. I'm like, nah, I don't have nothing. Let's just do this. It makes sense. Let's go. And it blows people's mind. You know, they're like, you can't run a business that way.
Well,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
right. No, I like. Excuse me, I like what you're doing, and I do like. The housing, I really think that's a big deal. You and I have discussed that in the past, and I think that's crucial for a lot of people, like you said, in early recovery, especially just getting out. I mean, that's even when things are set up, and let's say you have your license, and let's say you have a house, let's say you have a job, and everything's great, and it's set up. It's still extremely hard when you get out and you're first getting back into normal life, we'll say. I think that bridges that gap in between early recovery and the transition, and obviously that's kind of where it gets its name from, and I think that's such a big deal. It's just a huge deal, and hopefully you guys you get that going, because I think that's crucial for people in early recovery. I really do. It's helped you. It's helped many. Mm-hmm. It's just a great thing.
And a lot of places, if you're not familiar with them, how they work is, like the place I stayed at was Nathan's house, and there's actually a link on our website, 217recovery.com. But there would be, and I think at the time it was $375 a month. I think it went up to $400. Shared living expense is what it's called, and you pay on a daily fee. And there's different reasons for that. One of them being that you're a guest there, and if you drink or use or anything like that, you're asked to leave. Well, since you're a guest and you pay daily, it's just like a hotel room. You know, like when they kick you out, like, bye. You can't say, oh, well, but no, I live here. I've been paying here for a month. And no, this contract says you got till the right now to leave. You're daily. And that just, and people are like, oh, that's just mean. It's not. You know, that protects everybody in the house, because when one person starts, it just kind of, it's a domino effect. It can be anyway. And it'll take 1, 2, 3, 4 dudes out, you know, or women even, you know, and it's just like, oh, well, you let that happen. So that just kind of protects everybody in the house. And when they come in, you know, with the house that I went to, clear expectations, you know, they were clear. And so when somebody is messing up and he comes to him and says, hey, you know, give me the breathalyzer, pee in this cup, you got to go. You know, there's no hard feelings. Like, he tells you straight up, this is what's going to happen if you do. If you do, you got to go. You know, and some people will try to lie. Oh, man, that test is wrong. Okay, well, see you later. You know, here's your stuff. You want to take you to treatment? You want to go to a hotel for the night? You know, call some family or whatever. But there was just the shared living expense, and that covered everything except food. You know, there was Tide Pods, there was towels, there were dryer sheets, you know, soap to wash, not your body with, but like dishes and stuff. I mean, all that stuff was kind of taken care of. You know, we didn't have to pay electric bills. We didn't have to pay, you know, anything like that. So your basic necessities or your basic needs and stuff, they were taken care of, except for food. But there were food banks, you know, when I was manager, when I would take people to the food bank all the time, you know, and just, you find different resources of, you know, how to live. And we're addicts, man. We know how to make the most out of any situation pretty much, and, you know, make it kind of work to our advantage. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's different. And the opioid crisis, the governor was like, oh, we got all this money. So there is some funding, which is kind of silly, really. I mean, I don't know. It's not silly, but the fact that, you know, still more people have alcohol problems, you know, but they're like, oh, this funding goes to opioid. And we just know how to play the system, you know, just to be straight up with it. Yeah, I tried heroin. I wrote that down. I had my sober living expenses paid for a month. That's how it works. You know, like it's still helping everybody. So at the end of the day, you know, they can call it whatever they want, and, you know, Governor, whatever her name is,
Whitmer,
anti-vapor, whatever her name is, yeah, she can call it whatever she wants, but I mean, in reality, it's there to help everybody. So, you know, just kind of play the game. It's the same thing I tell people if, like, they're going into, you know, a treatment center and they only do meth. Well, insurances, they don't cover that in a detox. And some of those people, man, are not in their right mind, you know, meth, obviously. But they kind of need a chance to chill out for a minute before they, you know, start going in and trying to learn a better way to live, because you don't want to go in there, at least I wouldn't, like, all like tripping out. So, you know, if you can have some other, not saying do other drugs, but I'm just saying, like, learn. My mom told me when I was young, man, she's like, learn how to play the game. And you got to. Yeah,
I mean, I guess to add on to that, it's kind of unfortunate that you have to play the game, and you're right, we do know how to play the game, but in my opinion, I don't know that the substance is what's important. I feel like getting the help's important, and that they're going to separate certain things because one of them's alcohol and one of them's heroin or an opiate. To me, I'd be playing the game too. I mean, at that point of desperation, you're going to do what you have to do to get that help. And in my opinion, I just don't get why one substance is better or less than another. I mean, they're all killing us and driving us to the point where we want to reach out and get help. So, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you that politicians, and people in general just don't get it. It's addiction's addiction. But if I were to write, nope, never did heroin, didn't have any, just alcohol. All right, Mr. Winfield, well, unfortunately, we can't fund you for this. Huh? And you're trying to go to detox. Oh, you're just doing meth? Unfortunately, we can't fund you for detox. You got to go straight to treatment. Enjoy. Right. Oh, that wall's talking to you? Yeah. Right. Yeah, have fun. See ya. And you just want to shake people and go, are you guys that stupid? Or but then, a lot of people are stupid, George.
Some.
And just because they had their name voted on more than other people doesn't make them any better than anybody else, and there's a lot of Trump people out there. There's a lot of Biden people out there. Whatever, man. I'm not a big fan of either one of them.
Right.
And people are, well, you got to pick a side. I don't want to pick a side. I don't like either one. I really don't. But then Trump makes that comment about Biden's son, being an addict. And I'm like, okay, well, Trump clearly doesn't understand me.
Right.
So, I don't know. Again, not a big fan of either. And I start looking like, when they die, who takes over? Pence is kind of a hard ass. I'm not sure I trust him. Then that woman, I'm like, maybe it's about time we have a woman in charge. But then I'm like, I don't know. Our governor kind of sucks. She's losing her damn mind sometimes. Like the COVID thing, sure, fine. But when she starts attacking like vaping and I'm like, come on, man. Don't you have more stuff to worry about than I like Fruity Pebbles, okay? I like strawberry ice cream. I can't vape that, but yet I can go to the liquor store and buy it in a vodka bottle.
Right.
I can get a pack of smokes. I give those to kids. Should we start giving those to kids, Right. Oh, wait, they're already getting them. How are they getting them? Shut down gas stations. Like the stuff that she does for vaping is just stupid, in my opinion. And in my opinion, as a professional radio broadcaster, got to make sure that's in there. I'm not a doctor or therapist. But, well, George, thanks for letting me take over the interview and talk about myself more. I like to do that. No, we'll have you on again, man, for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, appreciate you filling in for Marnie today. And
yeah, I appreciate you having me on. And, as you and I, you say that, we have some great conversations when we go to meetings. And, most of the times we go, I feel like on the way there, I get more. On the way there and back, I get more out of that day than I do at the actual meeting. And I appreciate that. I've never came and sat in a situation like this. So I think once things get personal on my end, if I'm asked personal questions about my addiction or things of that nature, there's some nerves that are struck up there. So I hope I was a decent guest for you tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, it was fun, man. Like I said, we'll have to do it again. Have you on more in the studio. I have it kind of had the lights orange tonight because
I love the studio. It's sweet.
Halloween's coming up. I know. The only thing is the litter box is right over there by you. But hey, man, you can close the door, really. Nico's. Well, no, she did come in here. And sometimes she'll. I think maybe she has resentments towards Marnie because she'll come in here and Marnie will be talking. She'll go in there and just drop one, and it's right behind where George is sitting, right behind the guest chairs, a closet, and got to keep it open a little bit. I don't have anywhere else for the litter box. I mean, we do have a completely different room, but out of sight, out of mind. Like I'd forget about it until it was like, what does that smell through our whole? And then we'd like get used to it. So
you'd be that guy.
Yeah, the cat guy.
Yeah.
Just smelling like cat piss, and I don't know why it smells like that. I haven't checked the litter box.
I'd
in a
let
month.
You know though. I wouldn't be able to let you roll like that.
I'm sure Marnie would let me know too, but
she might just get the same way you are though, and just start smelling it every day and doesn't realize what it smells like.
I thought you were taking care of that, honey. I thought you were taking care of it. I don't know. It's in the other bedroom. Then in here, no, it's like when it's bad. It's like, all right, take it out, But anyway, yeah. But I'm glad that you like the studio, man. Appreciate you coming by, George.
Appreciate you having me, man.
We'll do it again sometime.
Absolutely.
Soon.